Sunday. Welcome back to LAMOUR Musique. I've been going strong with my 2021 goal of videos every Sunday, even at great personal expense. Today I have a video that I've been promising for months. It's going to be a review of the 3 face balms in Earthwise Beauty's range. Hopefully we won't be here for more than half an hour. Today it's only 3 products. How long can I possibly talk about 3 products? I'm endeavoring to comprehensively review all of Earthwise Beauty and then eventually Earthwise's sister company, Pacific Northwest Essences, as well over time. Instead of doing one big comprehensive brand review, I've decided to take the brand kind of apart in chunks. So I actually published a video over the summer on the 5 oil serums in Earthwise's range. I'll link that below and up here for you to go watch. And then I also included Earthwise in my 2020 Best of Beauty favorites as kind of the overarching beauty favorite discovery of me for the year. So if you want to hear me wax a little bit more poetic about the brand, that's the place to go hear it. And also in the oil video that I already did, I also have a wonderful interview with the founder of Earthwise, Ava Zahn, on my podcast, Your Purpose is Beauty. I'm forgetting the episode number off the top of my head, but I will of course link it below. Now I also have to tell you that I have a very, very amazing, exciting giveaway. I'm going to mention the details of it at the end. There's going to be 3 winners and it's extremely generous. You know, I haven't done giveaways with any regularity in at least a couple of years. I really started feeling like they were icky. I feel like content creators get approached quite often to do a giveaway. It's quite an easy way for a brand to get visibility on social media because most people host their giveaways on Instagram. And I just started to really loathe the experience of doing that. It was like a bunch of extra work for me. It was just tedious for some reason on Instagram. But I decided to give them another try. I hosted a giveaway a couple weeks ago with a boutique candle company, Lupiote. I thought that the brand was really cute and I thought that people would appreciate the opportunity to win one of these candles. And the experience of how I conducted that giveaway made me feel that I indeed wanted to go ahead in the future with doing very well thought out and executed giveaways. So like I'm not doing them all the time on Instagram willy-nilly, but with kind of more thought and purpose behind them. And the big shift for me was actually where I hosted the giveaway. So the giveaway for today is going to be hosted on Patreon. However, you don't have to be a patron to enter. Anybody, patron or not, is able to go to the public post that will be up and you can enter there. I just found that that really made the experience of the giveaway that I did on there a couple of weeks ago so much better. It was just so much easier to track comments, and in my opinion, the only fair way to select winners for a giveaway is through random number generator, and those are just very difficult to do through tracking Instagram comments. So I realize I'm giving a bunch of probably unnecessary detail about that, but since I don't do giveaways, or I really haven't in a long time, for me it's kind of a big deal to do it. I hope you'll stick around till the end of the review to learn about the giveaway and how you can go enter. The only other announcement I guess I have before we get into talking about these 3 beautiful balms is if you would like to receive issue 3 of my newsletter. I started it in December, so I'm releasing monthly issues. The next one will come out on February 19th. So if you'd like to be subscribed to receive that and then also be able to access the issues that you've missed, all of the instructions are like embedded in the newsletter for how to do that. You can just go to lamourlamusique.com. There's a little newsletter tab at the top of my website menu. You just enter your email and you will be on the list to receive that. I will also say, in case you don't know, I always have an ongoing discount code with Earthwise just directly through earthwisebeauty.com or pnwessences.com. It's multi-use, meaning that you can use it to restock purchases of yours. Products that Earthwise carries that aren't carried at other stockists, you can get a 10% discount. The teas, the flower essences, and my code does also work on the custom essence consultations. I am just about to do my 3rd essence consultation over the course of, I guess, about 10 months. I've done 2 prior and I'm going to be doing a 3rd, and that's kind of doing 3 custom essences in a year is kind of what's recommended to start to really see shifts from deeply rooted issues that you might be trying to work on through this modality. Eventually, I'll do some kind of whole content, either a video or a podcast around my experience with flower essences through Ava's approach. I've really enjoyed going deeper into flower essences this year and can't speak highly enough of Ava's expertise in this field. So I always keep that coupon code down below in the description bar. It's just LAMOUR, LAMOUR. Now enough blabbing, let's talk about these 3 balms. This feels so manageable. I'm so used to having just a whole desk full of products out in front of me, but we're only talking about 3 products today, and I also thought that this was a really nice time of year to tackle the 3 face balms because 'tis the season to be using a face balm. However, I really do think that the 3 balms in Earthwise's range are really very multi-season, and they're quite different to a lot of balms on the market, in my opinion and in my experience. In fact, I think I have quite an old lineup video on face balms where I talked about kind of all of my favorites and ones that I used. My experience with face balms, my preferences have definitely evolved over time as my skin has kind of changed and evolved over time. I come from a history of very dry and dehydrated skin. Now it tends to be quite normal with just kind of more episodic dehydration rather than chronic dryness and dehydration. In fact, over this last year, I've even rediscovered how much I love a good face cream, which was never a type of product I used. In general, my preference for a face balm is something that is quite oily, is gonna kind of be very loose. So for example, the LAMOUR Beauty Balm is one of my favorites, the Kerry Gran Essential Balm, the Inlight Beauty Balms, like the Lime Softener or I think it's called the Deep Moisture Balm. Like the texture of those balms, they're soft, they're not super stiff balms. So as you know, Earthwise came onto my radar last spring. My experience with the balms was definitely a journey because if you've tried these or you know anything about them, they wouldn't necessarily be what I would think I would like in a balm. So the very first one I ever tried was Yasuni, and then I tried Tigress, and then lastly, or maybe around the same time, I tried the Green Leaves Face Balm. Now this is a brand new one because I've already gone through a whole jar of this, and then you can see how much I have used these 2. However, I've also gone through a travel size of Yasuni, so I've used the equivalent of half of one of these jars. So my first impression of Yasuni, and I'm going to break it down and talk about each individually. I'm just kind of trying to walk you through my history and the unfolding of my experience with these balms. Now Yasuni is like extremely thick and almost kind of putty. Like you can see from the colors of these balms, they're certainly not your run-of-the-mill pretty eco beauty products, and I mean that with a high degree of endearment, because the more that you learn about Earthwise and the more that you learn about Ava and her formulation perspective, to her it's much more important to have the best composition and sourcing of the ingredients, and sometimes that kind of leaves you with this interesting brownie neutral color. It's not going to be kind of a deodorized looking pristine type of product. So that's kind of the first thing I wanted to point out. Now I assumed, I was going back to research these balms because I've read about them so much over the last year, but I kind of assumed in my mind that Green Leaves was the first balm that she formulated, and then Yasuni, and then Tigress was the newest. And turns out I'm completely wrong. The very first balm that she ever formulated was actually Tigress, followed by Yasuni, and then the newest balm is actually the Green Leaves Balm, I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I pieced together from my research last night. Now, I think it makes sense to talk about these from how they would be experienced from lightest to heaviest. Now, I think, in my opinion, every skin type, with the exception of people that might have an extreme sensitivity to coconut oil, even though the coconut oil that's in Green Leaves is like the highest quality. So if you react to coconut oil in products, it's possible that you may not react to the quality of the coconut oil in Green Leaves. But Yasuni and Tigress I really see as being good for lots of different skin types because none of the balms here are heavy. They're not gonna feel super occlusive on the skin. Like, so for example, some of the Josh Rosebrook balms that have like a lot of occlusive ingredients in them, those types of products I personally do not care for. They feel somewhat suffocating and they're just not for me. Each of these 3 balms I feel really has the ability to penetrate the skin. You can end up doing as minimal or maximal a routine with any of them as you want. So in terms of lightest to heaviest, in my opinion and experience, and I believe that this is how they're described on Earthwise's website as well, Green Leaves is kind of the lightest. It's definitely the one that melts quickest on contact with the skin. It gets the oiliest. Now, next up would be Yasuni. And to me, I mean, it's like I don't want to play favorites, but if I were to recommend one to everybody out there, this is such a winner because it's essential oil free. I feel like you can use it multi-season. However, I think that it's somewhat difficult to work with. It does require a bit of working. It's this really interesting texture, and like I'm saying, it really kind of took me a while to learn to work with it in a way, and now it's one. I used it last night. Now that we're in winter time, I end up using this 2 or 3 times a week, sometimes layered with other things, sometimes alone with an essence. It's just so versatile and amazing. And then Tigress is a little bit more of a treatment type of balm, and it's also the heaviest feeling one. So Green Leaves is probably the most straightforward and simple formulation. It's coconut oil, jojoba seed oil, rosemary oil, thyme, violet leaf absolute, French lavender, holy basil, and rosemary. Green Leaves is a juicy balm designed for dry and mature skin with acne, heals acne breakouts with lemon thyme while preventing acne scars. Now, my experience with this, the way I tested all 3 balms like last spring and early summer was exactly the same, because I wanted to see how my skin would react to just the balm and a toner. So after a double cleanse, I went directly in with the balm, a toner on top. Green Leaves was the one of the 3 that used like that, even in kind of a humid time of year here in Chicago, was not enough for my skin, or it could just be that my skin is not happiest with coconut oil as kind of the primary ingredient or hydrator on the skin. I tried that several times and I kind of would wake up with less than ideal skin. The way that I repurposed this, and I have come to truly love it, and it's a very kind of bougie luxe way to use it, is as a cleansing balm. Since it's coconut oil, it makes a wonderful cleansing balm, and I remember when I told Ava that that's how I was using it, or that I was hoping that she was going to make a cleansing oil or a cleansing balm. She said that she uses this as a cleansing balm as well, so it definitely can be used for that. Now this size, the 1 fluid ounce jar, is $74, so it would be pricey to use it as a cleansing balm, and it could definitely be layered as part of other skincare routines. I just am not, I don't like this one necessarily as a leave-on product, but I love it as a cleansing balm. Now Yasuni is really the workhorse MVP balm that I feel can go across such a wide range of skin types. You can use it during pregnancy, postpartum, anyone that has sensitized or sensitive skin, because it has no essential oils in it. Yasuni is described as a very lean antioxidant and enzymatic balm without any essential oils. It controls oil production in oily skin and decreases and prevents blackheads while providing a high dose of antioxidants. Its enzymatic exfoliating properties help resurface the skin in a way comparable to retinol, but without any irritation. This balm actually came about because after they launched Tigress, they got a lot of requests to create a balm that was essential oil free. Ava had been immersed in a self-imposed plant butter study for 2 years at that point. Yasuni is named after the Yasuni National Park in Ecuador. So this is kupuaku butter, kokum seed butter, bakuri seed butter, acai fruit oil, cranberry seed oil, raspberry seed oil, green coffee seed oil, marula seed oil. The scent of this one is really, and I realized I didn't, this one is pretty straightforward. Green Leaves really just kind of smells like violet. So if you like the smell of violet, Yasuni smells quite earthy. I definitely turn to Yasuni when I feel like my skin is feeling sensitive, when I feel like it wants something really quite minimal, I'll do a generous amount of this worked into the skin, and then I'll finish massaging it in with a toner on top. Something a little more plush, you could use like the Fit Glow Night Essence. One of the Infiore Botanical Waters is really nice over top of this. And when I tried that, just Yasuni plus I think I was using an Infiore Botanical Water over top, I was waking up with ideal skin, like gently resurfaced, I guess, but just looking extremely even, very calm. This will take down redness in my skin. It's just such a wonderful staple product to have. So Tigress, the first face balm that Earthwise ever did, created in response to customers requesting a face balm for acne prone skin. Tigress is a medium weight to light dry balm for normal and combination to acne and oily skin types, healing to skin disorders such as rosacea, and contains several anti-acne yet non-drying ingredients. Now the ingredient list in this one is by far kind of the most intriguing, I would say, of the three. It has Ukuba butter, one of the most healing butters that Ava has ever encountered. It's an Amazonian medicinal herb. It heals acne and other microbial skin issues, eczema and psoriasis, renews collagen, and promotes skin regeneration. This also has kokum butter, sapote oil from Guatemala, babasu oil, which gives a very penetrating and sort of lightly astringent emollients, green coffee bean oil, spikenard essential oil, which isn't something I had never heard of. Spikenard topically is renowned for helping with stubborn skin issues, particularly acne, psoriasis, eczema, and scalp problems. A powerful tissue regenerator, almost never found in luxury skincare because its deep herbal scent does not lend itself to the plethora of more ethereal type of formulas that we're so used to seeing. So that's basically the whole point that I've been trying to drive home with talking about these balms, is that they're a stark departure from the ubiquitous type of balm that you will find in other eco beauty brands. Okay, so everyone talks about the scent of this. It's definitely very spice market-ish. I don't know if you remember, I talked in the oil video about ferns and moss, and I said ferns and moss is like if a gingerbread cookie mixed with the wood of an Adirondack chair. That was literally how I described ferns and moss. Now, Tigress is of the same vein. It's of the same depth and intensity. It smells like you're strolling through a spice market in Lebanon or Turkey or Iran. It says here on the website, the scent is composed of freshly picked green coffee beans and ancient aromatic spikenard from Nepal, frankincense, pinyon pine, and everlasting, which is helichrysum extract, reminiscent of highest grade cured tobacco and curry. So that's how it's described here. I would highly recommend going to read the beauty poetry on Earthwise's site. I don't want to just sit here and keep reading it, but my experience with Tigress was quite profound. During my postpartum period, I would say when I was 6 to 8 months postpartum, I started noticing something that I had never had before, which was quite a bit of jawline congestion, almost like keratosis pilaris on my jawline. It was pointed out to me as well by an esthetician that worked on my skin in the summer of 2019. And it's really just like clogged hair follicles. It's not acne, it's not rosacea. I kind of went the route of trying to do more exfoliation, or I was like, maybe I need to start using an acid toner type of product. None of that has ever felt aligned with what my skin really wants. And kind of the more I would try and do to it, the more irritated it would get. The very first time I used this, I did the same technique as I did the other two for testing, just a thin layer of this massaged into the skin. This is easier to immediately work into the skin than Yasuni. Yasuni is definitely the stiffest of the three. Tigress is very easy to work with. It's a really, really beautiful texture and works into the skin like a dream. I put a little bit of essence on top, and it's the first time I've used a single product that made an appreciable difference in one application to my jawline congestion. So for me, this would be too heavy and like too aromatic to use as a nightly balm. For me, it's a bit more of a treatment product. So if I'm going through, you know, inevitably as a woman, you go through fluctuations during the course, hormonal fluctuations during the course of the month. At those different points in my cycle, when you tend to get a big surge of estrogen or a big dip in estrogen or a big surge in progesterone, I tend to notice that in my skin, not necessarily in active breakouts, but just in more sensitivity, in kind of this acting up, getting red here. And when I'm feeling a hormonal shift in my skin, that is when I reach for Tigress, and I always feel that I see wonderful results. And sometimes I do employ it if I'm not in a great emotional space, or depending on what I'm going through emotionally. There's an intensity to Tigress that is extremely grounding and protective, I think is what it feels like to me, and also corroborated on the description on the website. So if you're going through something in your life and you need the aromatherapy experience to help reground into the body, to feel that sense of rootedness and protection, I mean, it's a special product. I think that I've said everything that I would like to say about these balms. I think all three are beautiful. Please feel free to ask further questions in the comments. Also, please feel free to email Earthwise Beauty. I know that they do a lot of customer support. So if you're, you know, having questions about your particular skin concerns, they're really going to be able to get you on a system of products, or at least recommend a balm that would be good to start working with. Now let's talk about this giveaway. I'm very excited to let you know that 3 people are going to have the opportunity to have an entire Earthwise balm wardrobe at their disposal. Each of the 3 people will win a full-sized Green Leaves, a full-sized Yasuni, and a full-sized Tigress. I think it's amazing because having each of these 3 gives you the flexibility when my skin is feeling hormonal, when my skin is feeling sensitive, when I want a really beautiful cleansing experience. So they were sent to me, so I will be the one who mails these to the winners. So what you're going to do to enter, you're going to go to patreon.com/LaMourLaMusique. There's going to be a public post so anyone can see it. You don't have to be a patron. It'll be titled Earthwise Beauty giveaway or something to that effect. The stipulations to enter: you need to be in the mainland United States, over the age of 18, and then you just need to leave a comment on that post with a product that you would like to see Earthwise Beauty develop. Something that's not already captured in their range, an ingredient you'd really like to see them work with, a type of product you'd like to see them execute. I guess it could also be in the realm of flower essences as well. I mean, for me, I really want to see her come out with a non-emulsifying cleansing oil. That's like the #1 thing I would love to see her make. But yeah, use your creativity. Whatever you would like to see Earthwise Beauty come out with as a product, please just use that as your submission. I'll keep the giveaway open until Thursday of this week, at which point I will run a random number generator 3 different times, and I will notify you in the comments if you are a winner. A huge thank you to Ava for partnering with me with this, and for just also being such a huge source of inspiration for myself, and I know many of us. I think up next in a couple of months, I will probably tackle kind of the serum type of products. So Nap in the Meadow, Ambrosia do Serrato, On a Swing, Among Trees, Resiliency, maybe also the Marshmallow Face Cleanser and the Cystis Toner. From there, I'll probably work on the teas, and then we'll move on to flower essences. So we may get through everything across the 2 brands in 2021. Let's see how productive I can be. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you found this helpful, and please go enter to win these amazing products. I also like that hosting it on Patreon kind of keeps the numbers smaller than they might otherwise be, because it takes extra effort to go to a different website and go through these steps. It's kind of like a self-selecting community then, and I like that it keeps it a little more edited and gives people a higher likelihood of being selected as a winner. I'm going to be publishing a podcast episode tomorrow on Monday. It is just going to be for patrons at the $3 and above level. The impetus behind the episode was brands I'm changing my mind about, or have I changed my mind about these brands and why? And I really used Agent Nature as this case study between 2016 and now, and tapping into some of the personal reflections I've done on cancel culture, why we decide to discount people based on political beliefs or ideologies, my externalization of my personal excavations around these issues. So if you're interested in hearing that, it will be uploaded to Patreon tomorrow, and you also get access to the archives of monthly episodes that I've been doing there for over a year now. So I think this will be the 13th or 14th exclusive episode. I think I'll probably be doing a Beauty Heroes review next Sunday. I think people will love the February box. It's beautiful and I'm excited to talk about it. I'm going to be doing a Valentine's Day get ready with me. I think I'm going to do a very literal Valentine's Day get ready with me. I'm not going to promise anything else, but lots of good ideas in the hopper. All right, I think I'm finally done blabbing. I'll talk to you later. Bye.